Shalom. This is Yair, Davidiy, speaking to you from the land of Israel. We are now about to discuss an important issue concerning the presence of Edomites. Edomites can be good people, they can be bad people. Edom is descended from Esau. Esau was the twin brother of Jacob. Jacob took the birthright from him. Ever since then, Esau has had a certain degree of resentment, according to the Bible. He always wants to replace Jacob. He considers that he himself should be the chosen people, and he wants to disown Jacob. And who is Jacob? Jacob is the people of Judah. It is the people in the land of Israel, the Jews throughout the diaspora, and the lost 10 tribes. They together comprise the tribes of Israel. And that is who they are. That is what they are. Originally there were 12 tribes of Israel. They split into 2 separate sections. For those of you who don't know or have forgotten, they split into 2 different sections. So the northern tribe of Israel, the northern kingdom of Israel in the north, kingdom of Judah in the south. The kingdom of Israel comprised the 10 tribes. They were taken away by exile, into exile by the Assyrians. When they were taken away by exile by the Assyrians, they were taken to 2 different areas. They were taken away in 2 blocks, one could say. One section was taken overland to the region what is now Armenia, northern Syria, northern Iraq, the Caucasus areas, all that region, and also western Iran. They were taken to those areas, the cities of the Medes, Hala, Habor, and the river of Gozan, and so on. One section was taken to that region, and these regions were associated with the peoples of Gomer, and also with elements connected with Edom. Edom had created certain kingdoms and ruling elites over different entities throughout the Middle East. In addition to the small kingdom of Edom that was to the south of Judah, there were polities connected to Edom to some degree or other throughout the Middle East and also in the north. And within Assyria itself and also in Babylon, there were segments of the society who were descended or associated with Edom and worked together with the ruling powers, with the Assyrians and the Babylonians, and they resettled the lost tribes. They were resettled the lost tribes in areas associated with themselves. In addition to that, in addition to these Israelites who were taken overseas, who were taken overland to the north, a portion of the Israelites were also taken across the seas to directly to what is now Spain. From Spain they later moved out to Gaul, that is France, Belgium, that area, also into the British Isles and Ireland and Scandinavia and all of that region in the west. So taken directly there by sea, by Philistines, people from Gaza, from Ashdod, from Ekron and so on, by Philistines who had Minoan. They are recognizable by Minoan and Mycenaean civilization, culture. They transported the Israelites working on behalf of the Assyrians. So to the people of Tyre. The people of Tyre were Esau in Hebrew. People of Esau, Tyre, were Phoenicians. They had seafaring enterprises throughout the world, throughout the then nation world, and they also transported the Israelites directly to the west. And they were responsible for working them in mines in Spain and in silver and copper and tin resources in the British Isles and so on. And Amos speaks about this. Amos, in the first chapter of Amos, speaks about this, and he says that these peoples will be condemned for having turned over the exiles, that is, exiles of the 10 tribes, to Edom. In other words, Edom was responsible for this operation. He was in charge of it, and it holds. And we have indications that Edomites went with the lost tribes, and at first they ruled over them, controlled them, wherever they were, and later they settled alongside of them. And we have described elsewhere, and it is known that those tribes went overland. They moved to the north, they moved beyond the Caucasus Mountains, and in stages they gradually moved to the west. They also moved to Western Europe, where they teamed up with the Israelites who had gone over by sea previous to themselves. And then we have Celtic culture, which was so-called Celtic culture was created by the combination of Israelite and Middle Eastern, Phoenician and input onto that of the European natives in the area, and that is where the Israelites were settled. They were settled in this region of France, Belgium, in the British Isles, in this region of Celtic culture, and also in Western Germany and throughout Germany. In fact, at the beginning, that was all Celtic, Galatian, and in that region we find that Esus, a god called Esus, was worshipped. Also, he had a woman called Rose Myrta, whose name means the marvelous red one, and Esus is the name Esus itself is a form of the name Esau, and he was worshipped. There we find inscriptions concerning him in Gaul and in Britain and in Western Germany. And we identify this Esus with Esau. And also people in Normandy was known as the Suebians, who claimed descent from this god. His worship was well known. He was a major god in the pantheon of the Celtic peoples. And the aspects of this god, such as worshipping on a tree and so on, and his attributes of rage and another things, which connect him up with Odin or Woden, who was later worshipped by Germanic tribes. The Germanic tribes came in, imposed themselves over the Celtics, and they created the kingdoms of Germany and France and the British Isles. And not all of them were of one caste. There were different peoples. Some of them were Israelites, some of them were also the Edomites, descended from Edom. The Suebi were partly from Joseph and partly from Esau. They were very important. Suebi were mainly from Esau. They were one of the dominant groups over the Germans, and they too worshipped Odin. And there are different versions and different aspects of the worship of Odin. It may be that the type of worship known to the Scandinavians was different from that of the Germans. Nevertheless, we have aspects of Odin as he was worshipped by the Germans, such as a wild hunter and so on, which relate him back to Esau, relate him back to Edom. And even his very name means Odin. One of the meanings of the name Odin apparently reflects red, the color red, and Edom means red in Hebrew. And we have other things which link up Edom with Edom. And we also have the fact that the Germans under Hitler, as the psychologist Jung pointed out in his time when Hitler was coming to power, there were many Germans who had dreams. They saw Odin, they identified with Odin. And Jung himself was part of this renaissance, one might say, this revitalization. He exulted in it, he was happy with it, at least at the beginning. He describes it, and the whole of the German people, as if to say, became identified with Odin. And Hitler also came to personify this aspiration. Commentators say that Hitler, there's something feminine about it. He had a feminine attributes to the personality of Hitler, that he took things in, he absorbed influences, he reflected, he gave expression to things beyond himself, and he also gave expression to the secret desires of the Germanic people, of the German people in Germany at that time. And so we have Odin and Edom as one and the same entities, and we also have this becoming recognized as a personification of Germany under the Nazis, and Hitler taking it over and continuing this personification. May Lord God of Esau bless you. Thank you.